Well, welcome back to Stronger Than Before. If today's episode sounds a little different, that's because it is. I'm not sitting in my office and I'm not in front of my microphone at home, but I'm actually on vacation. Right now, I'm in Wildwood, New Jersey. The sunlight's coming in through the windows. The ocean breeze is drifting through the outside patio. And if you listen closely, you might even hear a seagull interrupt me. Around here, they seem to think they own the place. My whole family's here, my brother, my sister, our kids, all of us together. We spent the last few days doing everything that makes a Jersey Shore vacation exactly what it's supposed to be. Swimming in the ocean, walking the boardwalk, eating way too much ice cream, and every single night playing a game that's become our family's favorite, Mexican Train. Have you ever played? Everyone starts with a hand of dominoes and takes turns matching numbers, building their own train or adding to a shared Mexican train in the middle. The goal is to be the first one to play every tile in your hand. It sounds simple, but like every great family game, it's really not about winning. It's about the conversations between the friendly competition, the laughter when someone gets stuck holding a handful of dominoes that they can't get rid of, and somehow the same stories we've all heard 100 times told again, just like it's the first time, and we just laugh just as hard. Now, if you ever played a table game with your family, you know it's rarely just about the game. Someone forgets the rules, someone insists they've been playing the right way for 20 years, and someone celebrates like they just won the Super Bowl after putting down one tile. And someone, and you know who you are, takes forever deciding which piece to play while everyone else waits. It's not really about the dominoes. It's about what happens in between. The teasing, the laughter, the stories that always seems to start with "remember when?" and end with everyone laughing so hard that they can't breathe. But here's what I've noticed sitting around the table. The strategy of the game is surprisingly similar to life. You want to play your highest value dominoes early so you don't get stuck holding them at the end. And you keep your options open by holding on to pieces that connect to multiple numbers. You watch what everyone else is playing because it tells you what they might have left. And sometimes helping the shared train move along benefits everyone at the table, even when it doesn't obviously benefit you. Life is a lot like Mexican Train. You don't control the dominoes that you're dealt, but you control how to play them. And if you're lucky, the best part isn't winning the game. It's who's sitting around the table with you. Because here's what I've noticed. No one was checking emails. No one cared about job titles. No one was trying to impress anybody else. We were simply enjoying each other. And maybe that's what vacationing actually gives us. Not just time to walk away from work. It gives us permission to be fully present. It almost sounds like someone, presses pause, not on life, but on the noise. The deadlines get quieter. The notifications matter less. The endless list of things that we should be doing fades into the background. And suddenly, the things that actually matter becomes easier to see. A conversation on the porch, coffee before everyone else wakes up, watching kids jump through waves, walking the boardwalk with absolutely nowhere to be. It's funny, none of those moments cost very much. Yet years from now, they're probably the moments you'll remember. Isn't that interesting? We spend much of our lives chasing the extraordinary, while the memories we actually treasure are usually wonderfully ordinary. Maybe that's why vacations feel so refreshing. Not because we're living a different life, because we're finally paying attention to the one we already have. So here's a question, and I want to sit with for the rest of this episode. What if we didn't have to wait until vacation to live that way? What if dinner lasted another 20 minutes because no one was in a hurry? What if we called a friend just to catch up? What if we took an evening walk without looking at our phones? What if we made room for more moments that don't accomplish anything except reminding us that we're alive? Maybe that's the real gift of vacation. It doesn't change our lives, it changes our perspective. And sometimes that's exactly the pause we need, not to escape our lives, but to return to them with fresh eyes. So yesterday morning, I decided to walk down to the beach before everyone woke up. And if you've ever been to the Jersey Shore early in the morning, you know it's almost a different world. The beach is quiet, the air is cool, the waves seem calmer. And there were people walking with coffee in their hands, couples, holding hands, someone reading a book. And I noticed a little boy who was absolutely determined to dig what he believed was the biggest hole in New Jersey. I sat down and watched him for a few minutes, and he was completely focused, digging, throwing sand behind him, looking back every few seconds to admire his masterpiece. Finally, his dad walked over to him and asked, "What are you building?" The little boy looked up without missing a beat and said, "I don't know yet." I laughed out loud. What an incredible answer. Somewhere along the way, we stopped saying those words. As adults, we feel like we're supposed to know everything. We should know our 5-year plan, our purpose, our next career move, our retirement strategy, our identity. But maybe life doesn't work that way. Maybe sometimes you're just digging, learning, trying things, building something beautiful, even if we don't know exactly what it will become. I love this story because that little boy had a goal. He was building something, and in his mind, it was already going to be beautiful. He just hasn't decided what it is yet. And when his dad asked him that question, he didn't panic. He didn't apologize. He just said, "I don't know yet." That leads me to one simple question I keep coming back to. What if? What if we didn't have to have all of the answers? What if it was okay to say, "I don't know yet"? When we're children, "I don't know yet" is full of possibilities. When we're adults, we often hear those same words as failure. Somewhere along the way, we decided we were supposed to have our lives figured out, our careers, our relationships, our life purpose, our future. And if we don't have the answers, we start to wonder if we're behind. But that little boy reminded me of something. He wasn't worried about what the whole would become. He was completely absorbed in the joy of creating it. He trusted that eventually it would become something. Maybe that's what we've forgotten. I mean, we're so focused on the destination that we miss the beauty of building. Maybe the purpose isn't always to know exactly where you're going. Maybe the purpose is to keep showing up with curiosity, to keep digging, to keep learning, to keep growing. Vacation is a funny way of bringing that curiosity back. We walk streets we never walked before. We try restaurants we've never eaten in. We watch sunsets where we've seen 1,000 times, yet somehow they feel brand new. Children see the world that way every single day. Every single day. Adults usually need a vacation to remember how. And maybe that's why this little boy stayed with me. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He wasn't worried whether his hole was being compared to another hole. And he wasn't comparing himself to his family or to anyone. He was just simply present. Imagine what our lives would feel like if we borrowed just a little of that mindset. What if we became more curious than critical? What if we stopped measuring our progress against everyone else? And then what if we gave ourselves permission to say, "I don't know yet"? Not with fear, but with hope. Because yet is one of the most powerful words in the English language. It reminds us that our story isn't finished, that today's uncertainty doesn't have to become tomorrow's identity. I've actually been thinking about the word a lot lately, yet, because it becomes the foundation of a new keynote that I'm building called the sunrise effect. It's exactly This, how people change their identity and find real happiness, not by having it all figured out, but by being willing to keep building even when they don't know yet what it will become. That little boy on the beach didn't know it, but he gave me one of the clearest examples of the whole idea in about 4 seconds. Some of us know exactly what we're building. Some of us don't know yet, and both are perfectly okay. So there's two activities that you do down the Jersey Shore, and one of my favorites is walking the boardwalk. And it's a perfect classroom for people watching. You see toddlers with sticky faces chasing bubbles, teenagers pretending that they're too cool to be seen with their parents until someone offers them to buy them fries or ice cream. You see grandparents carrying little hands instead of beach bags, friends laughing so hard that they've stopped walking just to catch their breath, people on first dates, people celebrating, people eating pizza at 10 in the morning because why not? It's vacation. And here's what struck me. Everyone looked lighter, not because their lives are perfect, because just for a little while, they weren't trying to be impressive. They were simply being present. What if that secret's what we've been looking for all along? And the second thing that I enjoy down at the Jersey Shore is going to the beach and watching the ocean. But let me tell you what the ocean taught me. It has a wonderful way of slowing your thoughts. You watch one wave, then another, then another. Not two are exactly alike. Same crashing loudly. Some barely whisper into the shore. Feels like a moment. It feels like a moment of life. Some reasons arrive with fireworks, others arrive quietly. Neither one lasts forever. The waves keep coming, and so do we. So, what I want to do, I'm on vacation, so we're going to close this. I want you to take a thought to take home. Many vacations don't create happiness. Maybe they simply remove enough noise for us to hear it. Maybe the laughter was always available, and maybe slowing down was always possible. Maybe we just been too busy to notice. So I have a sunrise effect challenge for you. So here it is. You don't have to drive to the beach, and you don't have to rent a house, and you don't even have to take time off of work. You just need to create one vacation moment this week. Eat dinner outside, play cards, call your sister, watch the sunset, take your coffee on the porch. Walk without looking at your phone, and sit with someone you love just a tad bit longer. Because one day, those ordinary moments become the stories you tell, and those stories become the life you remember. Thank you for spending a little part of your vacation, a little part of my vacation, and I hope you enjoy your drive or your walk or your morning coffee, and I especially appreciate you being here. Until next time, keep looking for your sunrise.